I am an idiot, but you knew that already. The reason I'm an idiot, today at least, is I'm doing more work. If you remember yesterday, I was doing writing for a project page for Kickstarter, not for my project but for someone else's. Today I'm doing my project. I am doing it for this product here. So that is a titanium pry bar. It's a redesigned version of a pry bar I made two and a half years ago. I call it the Primal. I think it's a good play on words. I think it's a good name. Oh, so here's why I'm an idiot. I was gonna work like hell today, get the product page done, get the project up on Kickstarter and launch it tonight. But somehow, and I don't quite know how, I completely forgot that I have to submit the project to Kickstarter, and usually they take 1, 2, 3 days to get back to me to say, hey, you can launch the project whenever you want. They've got to take a look at it, they have a vetting process. They want to make sure your project follows their guidelines and that kind of thing, which is good. That's why it makes Kickstarter the best quality crowdfunding platform. It's got the best backers. It's just better than the others, and I think that's part of the reason is that they check every project before they allow them to launch. They don't just allow you to launch any old rubbish. So I probably have to work, submit it, and because it's so late in the week, I probably won't be able to launch it this week. So you would think that this being my 12th Kickstarter project, I think number 12, I would know that. Like, I would know that I have to submit it. But yeah, I have no idea. Not quite sure if I'll get it launched this week. Might have to be next week, unfortunately. Something that I do on my Kickstarter projects is submit what I call a skeleton campaign. What I mean by that is I put together a sort of simple version of the project page, because the project page typically takes 20 to 30 hours depending on the complexity of the project, the rewards, how much detail I have to go into, that kind of thing. But I want to be able to launch when I'm ready, and so I like Kickstarter to give me the okay and say, hey, you can launch whenever you like. So what I typically do is just put together an extremely basic version of the project that I'm ultimately going to launch. I mean, it's exactly the same. I don't change anything. I'm not doing like some sort of bait and switch where I show this is what it's going to be and then I submit something else. I just basically add more information and more pictures and possibly a couple more rewards, that kind of thing. So that's what I'm doing right now. Hopefully I can submit it this afternoon. I'm just sort of working frantically right now trying to submit the skeleton campaign. In the past I have had it at least once where it's been approved within 24 hours. If that happens, then I can launch it tomorrow. I'm not sure if you remember, but 3 or 4 days ago, I told you my top 3 things that I dislike doing. And number 2 on that list was taking photos. Luckily, I have someone who helps me with photos when she can, and I managed to get her to do these photos, and it's good for 2 reasons. The reason one is I really don't like doing it, but I don't mind that, that's okay. If I need to do it, I do it. But the second reason is that when someone else does it, they do a way better job than I do. Take a look at these photos. I'm not sure how they come out for you because I'm videoing a computer screen, but hopefully you saw how good they are. I just don't know how to get them like that. Like, I could probably put in the time and effort, but you can only spend so long on something before it doesn't become worthwhile for the extra time and energy you put in. Right, take a look at the project page. So that's a really, really short and simple project page. It covers exactly what the project is going to be about. I'm going to add more pictures later, more descriptions later. I might even offer like an exclusive lower price limited number reward. I'm not sure, I'll see how it goes. But that's enough to submit the project to Kickstarter, so I will do that, and fingers crossed they get back to me maybe overnight or tomorrow. It's unlikely though, but if they do, I can launch this tomorrow. In fact, I'll tell you why it's important not to launch it too late at the end of the week. The reason it's critical not to launch your Kickstarter project, or probably any crowdfunding project for that matter, too far towards the end of the week is because the first 48 hours and the last 48 hours are really, really important. The main reason for that is that when you launch your project, you'll be on the sort of the top of the list of the recent projects. There's people all the time on Kickstarter just looking at new projects every day, you know, sitting at their work or whatever, just see what new projects are up, see what new projects are up. And so in the first day or two, you're going to be seen by people that are just searching, you know, and that's a big part of it. And also people want to get on board first, so that, you know, if they can get on in the first 48 hours, that's a big thing as well. So you don't want to be launching on a Friday, because the internet in general is pretty dead over the weekend. Like, you know, my website sales, for instance, or any website sales, that many sales on Monday, that on Tuesday, that on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday and Sunday are down there. It's just the way it is. The traffic goes down, the sales go down, just everything online goes down. I think a big reason for that is that people spend a lot of time at their work on the computer and sort of browsing stuff. You know, that's my theory anyway. You want to make the most of the first 48 hours. So you want to launch on a Monday, Tuesday or a Wednesday really. Thursday is a bit of a push because you're catching Thursday and Friday for the first 48 hours, but Friday people start dwindling, you know, they finish work for the week, they're off for the weekend, so it's not a good day. Ideally Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. It is now 2:59 PM precisely. I have been on the computer pretty much all day. Doorstep talk. You remember in yesterday's video how I said I had ordered a drone? Well, it's only been like 24 hours and I'm just itching to get my hands on it. Fingers crossed it's going to be here tomorrow, because like I'm like a kid on Christmas morning or Christmas Eve or whatever, like just pretty excited about it, and I'm not ashamed to say it. I've also been looking at CNC machines today, more specifically Okuma CNC milling machines. Very interesting, very good quality, they are quite impressive machines. What else have I been doing? Oh, new project coming up. Thought of it today. It's actually something that's been done before, but I've got an idea for them that's kind of pretty unique, and that's titanium shot glasses. Now, I'm not like a shot type drinker, but I know a lot of people are. I might drink whiskey every so often, so I'm thinking of making a whiskey version, a slightly bigger version, but that's the kind of theme. So I'm curious, like, is that the kind of thing you're interested in? I mean, you can tell me no, I'll probably go ahead and do it anyway, but I am curious. Received a couple of books today through the mail. Actually, out of interest, living in New Zealand, it's really, really tough to get books. You pretty much have to import them. Luckily there's a couple of companies, 2 or 3 companies that use a website here in New Zealand called TradeMe. It's like eBay, but for New Zealand. We don't have eBay in New Zealand. Probably New Zealand's too small a country for eBay to be, I don't know. Anyway, you can buy books through there. You don't have a great selection, but it's okay. But they're either shipped from Australia, the US or the UK. Other than that, we've got to buy through Amazon from the US. I buy quite a lot of books, and what's interesting is that it takes 1 to 3 weeks for them to arrive. So by the time they arrive, I completely forgot that I even ordered them. Today, I'm going to share these 2 books with you. The first is The Daily Stoic, 366 Meditations on Wisdom, Perseverance and the Art of Living. Hugely excited about that. The other book, The Art of Living, The Classical Manual on Virtue, Happiness and Effectiveness. This is by Epictetus. Again, this is Stoicism. I'm on a real Stoicism philosophical thing just now, sort of over the last sort of few days and weeks. Out of interest, Epictetus was, yeah, he was, from what I know of him, he He was like Socrates, basically. Like that's like the level he was at, but he's less well known. He was actually a slave to Nero. Nero was killed or lost power or something. I'm not very good at history, and so Epictetus was essentially free then. I think he became like a sort of teacher and philosopher, and hopefully I can learn more about him through these books anyway. And with that, I am going to leave you with a quote. It is, of course, by Epictetus, and he said, "An important place to begin in philosophy is this: a clear perception of one's own ruling principle."